Okay, I wore some awesome stuff this week, and a couple of things you won't have seen before, and um, something that's new to me as well. So let's start with this little babe. Now, when I was a kid, loads of dudes wore a Joop perfume that I think was literally just called Joop, and we all called it Joop. So I will try to call it by what I think is the correct name, which is Joop. I think this is a German brand or a German designer at least. But if I say Joop, then sorry, but I do know it's supposed to be Joop. So this is a tiny little bottle of a perfume called All About Eve, and this is an apple perfume. What I say about this is perfectly likely to put people off. Okay, this is a subtle skin scent, this one, definitely. Oh, it's a very light and pure apple, a green apple. Now, I really like this one, but whether it's a safe blind buy is another matter. And the reason being that I think what I love so much about this is it massively reminds me of a Yankee Candle that my sister bought me maybe 10 years ago, maybe even more. It was, I actually found something that looks a bit, well, the actual flavour it's this guy. So this is Yankee Candle Beans Wax, it was called. Beat Around the Bushel, which was a beautiful, very natural smelling, kind of orchardy, appley smell. Absolutely stunning. I was obsessed with it. I had just a little one that was in a tin. And I just remember being obsessed because I was like, this is just the most natural apple I've smelt ever. Normally I don't think apple perfumes or apple candles actually smell like apples. And this one smells like apples. Now, this perfume smells just like that. Which in a weird way also means that this smells like a candle. It doesn't smell like a traditional candle because it smells like they're soy candles, but it therefore, I think, can be a bit of an acquired taste because there is something slightly plasticky about it. It's a really cool bottle. It's like quite an interesting shape. It's kind of got flat bits on it, and this is, I think, the biggest size that they do. And I'm trying to see on here if this is an eau de parfum. I think this is a 40 ml, so this is the biggest they do, and it's an eau de parfum. It does actually last a really long time, but it's incredibly light. It's a very, very soft skin scent. And looking at some of the reviews of this one, when I was getting up the notes, which I will tell you in a minute, I promise, I think the way people describe this is interesting because I think some people talk about this as if it smells like an apple pie. It doesn't smell like an apple pie. It doesn't smell biscuity. It doesn't smell like a crust. It's not massively sweet. It's not sharp, but it smells like like the natural sweetness you get with like a sweet green apple, and it smells like the skin as well, which is why it's got that kind of slight candly, you know, I mean, how do you even explain that kind of slightly rubbery kind of skin you have to bite through on a green apple specifically? It's quite thick, on a green apple, quite waxy, almost like a thick kind of waxiness to it. Again, which is why it smells like that candle. So top notes here are apple and floral notes, middle notes cinnamon and jasmine, base notes vanilla and vetiver. You don't really get much in the way of vanilla with this. It's much more of just a slight sweetness. You get a very small hint of cinnamon, which is just blending in. You probably do get a bit of the floralness, which is why this is a bit more candly, but the main note here is apple. Green apple, and I think this is a very, very pretty scent. I don't really see anyone talking about this, but I think it's really nice. But it's definitely, yeah, it's also not particularly expensive. I think you can get these for about 20 quid. It's very fresh, it's very pretty. I just fancied it because I've been on a bit of an apple kick recently, but I mean, normally this would be a much more autumnal smell for me, not because it's like deep or dark, just because there's just something about like that kind of appley candly smell that I think just makes me feel a bit autumnal, you know? So anyway, so that's a lovely, lovely appley perfume. Let me see if I can keep that in the frame a little bit. Oh, very exciting. Then I made sure I put up my video that I'd made of these Oriflame elixirs so that I could talk to you guys about it. The weather finally chilled out a bit, so I was like, right, let's try this bad boy out. It's really hard to. Oh, it's so beautiful. This colour never quite comes out on my iPad, but it's a fabulous turquoise colour. It's so lush, and the scent inside. Oh, it didn't give me a headache, and I'm very happy about that. So this one, unlike the Sun, I think it's called Sun from H&M. This one didn't give me a headache, even though it's quite salty. So I wore this, I think, on Sunday. I gave my partner a couple of bottles of things, and I was like, I don't know which one to wear today. And he sniffed. Well, first he just looked at the bottle and went, well, that is basically your perfect bottle, so maybe you should wear that. And I was sort of like, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's turquoise and rose gold, which couldn't be more perfect for me. I mean, I'm a rose gold kind of girl, but I got him to sniff them. I'm trying to remember I can't for the life of me remember what the other one was. It was also a sweet perfume, but he went for this one. He thought it smelled nice. So that, let me give you the notes. It's delicious. It's so delicious. Top notes: watery notes, amber and grapefruit. Middle notes: orange blossom, violet and cumin. Base notes: sugarcane, coconut milk and vanilla. This smells like a beach scent. The watery notes are salty. It's like seawater. It has a fabulous amber in the base that keeps it warm and pretty. You can definitely smell the grapefruit at the top, but because of the sugar mixed in, it's not sharp at all. It's just like a slight sweet citrus, like a syrupy citrus. The violet and the coconut milk with the vanilla just is such a delicious scent. If you're like happy to wear salty scents to bed, this is a brilliant scent for bed. This is a beautiful bed scent. I will actually have to do a video on things that I think are good for bed, because I've got quite a few perfumes that I think would be really nice for bed, a couple of which I wear myself, but I'm not much of a wearing perfume to bed sort of person, but I do have lots that would be good for it. So unlike most of the other kind of beachy perfumes that have salt in, this one doesn't concentrate in the dry down on vanilla. It's definitely more about the coconut milk. So it's salty, slightly violety, warm amber, sugary coconut. It's very, very pretty. And I don't think you ever quite lose just a touch of citrus. And the citrus with the violet really stops this from becoming cloying and too sweet, and it's really nice. But this is the one that has the blue liquid inside, so again, you have to be very careful. I put this on before I put my clothes on, and then I kind of rubbed it in, and then I put my clothes on afterwards, so that a little bit of the scent did get onto my clothes, but it didn't dye it, because it's like properly a turquoise liquid, which is stupid, but the perfume's fabulous. So this is Oriflame, and in case I didn't say, this is Amber Elixir Crystal. This is an eau de parfum, a 50ml. You can get these from Notino. I got this one from eBay in a little bundle, but you can get these from Notino for about £16, and I think it's absolutely delicious, that perfume. I absolutely love the bottle as well. I love that bottle. So then Monday, work. I haven't talked about this one before, but I think when I was talking about classy scents, Hugo Boss, so this is Hugo Boss the scent, but this is the Pure Accord flanker. So this, I think, is an eau de parfum as well. Gosh, the writing on these are always so tiny, I can't really see. This is a 50ml. Where is this? I can't actually see on this. Oh, eau de toilette. Okay, well that explains why it doesn't last very long. Actually, maybe that explains why most of these don't last very long. So I really like the Hugo Boss, the Scent for Her range. You'll have seen before that I have the intense version of the original, which is more peachy and more chocolatey than the original. I did say when I bought my Elizabeth Arden, the new white tea perfume, the reason I saw that was because I went on to Debenhams, because Debenhams had like a really good perfume sale, and I found what's it called? The private one, the one that smells like chocolate orange. I found the Scent for Her. Oh my goodness, my brain's completely melted. I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, the one that everyone talks about smells like chocolate orange. Now, I had a little sample of that and I absolutely loved it, but I was like, I'm not spending 60 odd quid on a perfume that doesn't last very long, because that really doesn't last very long, but it does smell like heaven. So I've been keeping an eye out for whenever it comes up. Maybe it's called Private Accord, I don't know. So I've been keeping an eye out for it, and it was £26 for a 30ml on Debenhams. So I ordered that one. It's a bit too strong for this time of year when you first spray it anyway. It's like more autumnal, so I haven't actually worn that one yet, but you will see it at some point. But this is very light, and it's perfect pretty much all year round, because this doesn't have peach and it doesn't have chocolate. This is an osmanthus perfume, and it's almost entirely osmanthus. In fact, the notes, I can tell you because I don't even need to look them up. The notes are bergamot, osmanthus, and musk. So that's top note, bergamot. Middle notes, heart notes, osmanthus, and base notes musk. It's a very musky perfume, but it's fresh and it's soft and it's pretty and it's floral, and because osmanthus has that kind of peachy apricot smell anyway, it smells fruity, but it's not fruity, if you see what I mean. It's a very easy wear, it's very light, it's very pretty, slightly ethereal, I'd say, this one. It's a real beautiful, soft, slightly powdery scent bubble around you when you wear the Pure Accord flanker, and it's very, very pretty. This is one I managed to get. I mean, I wouldn't pay full price for any of these, because this one, I think I wore it to work and I had to reapply at lunchtime and then before I left, so it's not a long lasting one, so it's not worth spending 60-70 quid on. But if you can find this on a really good deal, if you can get it for under 30 quid, absolutely worth it, because it's that pretty. And I got this, I think this is originally from eBay, for under 30 quid, because it didn't have a box. I mean, it's so pretty. And again, yeah, like I said, in the same way I feel about Still as being a very chic and ladylike perfume, Hugo Boss The Scent Pure Accord is a very chic and ladylike perfume. So I think that one's definitely worth a shout. And then next day I went a bit more childish. I think I was probably wearing... This is going to sound ridiculous. I'm pretty sure I was probably wearing like a beige colour. I was wearing green. And sometimes I'm that basic, so I thought I'd try a full day of Mojito Love, because I wore this last week on like the weekend, just in the morning, and I did really enjoy it. And what I have to say about this one, it's actually quite insistent, but it's very, very light. So it's beautifully light. It's definitely a skin scent. You're not going to bother everyone around you. You can massively overspray it. And I think I could still smell it very, very clearly past lunchtime. And I probably put it on at about 8 in the morning, something like that. But for me, I think this is going to move into my kind of evening-y smells, because I got a bit bored of it. I think it's just because it's quite sweet, quite creamy. It's got that kind of caramelly smell, and because of the mint as well. I enjoy smelling like a Murray mint. It was super fun, but I think maybe like a few hours I'd be happy to smell like this. It's actually, again, quite cozy. You could totally wear this to bed. It's very cozy, in fact. Really, really pretty. But I think, yeah, for me personally, for some reason I just got a bit bored of wearing this one, so I think I would quite happily just wear this like in an evening, like to go out in the evening, or like for an evening snuggling up with my boo, you know. But that one's kind of, oh, let me do the notes. Top notes in this: tonic water, sugar cane, mint, lemon zest and lime. Middle notes: floral notes and rose. Base notes: sugar, coconut, nectar and musk. And like I said, there's something about the combination of these notes that make it smell like a hard caramel, like a caramel candy, if you see what I mean, with mint. You do get lime at first, but the lime doesn't really stick around. The lime kind of sticks around in terms of it stops it becoming horrifically sweet with so much sugar in the top and the base notes, but it doesn't stay around as being like a tangy lime. It doesn't smell like a mojito. This does not smell like a mojito. It smells like a Murray mint. But I do enjoy it. But yeah, I think shorter bursts for this. I didn't really get the urge to reapply it because I think I was a bit bored of it by that point. By the time I got to lunch, so oh, and then we moved on to a safe bet because I'm obsessed with this. Oh my god, I could happily just spray it on myself now, but I'm not going to because I'm wearing something totally different. So because I'd got a bit bored of that, I wanted something a bit fresher and fruitier for the next round. So I went for this, which is the original Guess Dare. This is not the original top because this is a tester bottle, but I'm obsessed. I mean, you can see I'm really making a dent in this, and I've really only had it for a few weeks. I'm obsessed. I love this perfume. As it turns out, this is the same perfumer who made CK Into You for her, the one that also I think has cactus in it and has like, it's a much woodier perfume, but it's the one that's like got the kind of citrusy, it's like grapefruit and wood and vanilla, so it's got that same kind of interesting summer perfume smell about it that this does. They don't smell anything alike, but at the same time I wasn't surprised when I saw it was the same perfumer because there's just something about the vibe of it. So the notes in this one: top notes of kumquat, pear blossom, lemon blossom. Middle notes: cactus flower, jasmine, wild rose. Base notes: musk, woody notes and coconut. And honestly, I get a lot of kumquat, I get the lemon blossom and the pear blossom, I get the cactus flower, I get the jasmine. I don't really get rose, I don't really get wood. There's a shed load of musk in this. It's very musky, but it's like a soapy Cerruti 1881 style musk, like kind of like a bar soap style musk, and the coconut I think just keeps it sweet, but it doesn't smell like coconut. It's a beautiful fruity floral, this one, really gorgeous. Oh, I love it, and I will never get bored of that. I literally sprayed it on and I just oh my god, I was just obsessed. I'm just going to move these around because I've got some big things coming, I think. So that one, very tasty. That was Wednesday. What we got for Thursday? Oh yeah, you might be surprised by this. So I have been keeping my eye out for ages, but I haven't done like, the reason I haven't done a proper video about these is because lots of people talk about these and they are quite expensive perfumes, and I wasn't going to get them all the way from, you can't get them in the UK, so I wasn't going to pay to get these from the US, even though I was interested in them. So I've been keeping an eye out on eBay, and I managed to get recently Sugarfull Dream from Michel Germain. So this is the box. Now it's funny because I've seen so many people holding these and the bottles look massive in people's hands. So I feel like maybe I've got giant hands compared to most people, because when it turned up I was like, oh, it's not a massive bottle, it's fine. See? Like, I mean, they're big. They are big, but they're not as huge as I thought they were. So this is Sugarfull Dream. Now, I just really wanted to try this because, well, for one thing, I adore these bottles. I adore how they look anyway. The spraying is dreadful. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But this, because it was blueberry, and from everything that I've heard about the Sugarful perfumes, they don't have that pink sugary kind of very vanilla forward, kind of sickly, caramelly kind of smell. They are much more like kind of chewy sweets level of sweetness, and that's my kind of sweetness, because that's the kind of slightly sour sweets, if you see what I mean. So incredibly sweet, but with a little bit of sourness as well, and that's what I like. So I thought, okay, now I do actually, because I also managed to get it on eBay, I do actually have the original Sugarful as well, but that one is not one that I'm going to do a full like day's wear of, because I don't really like that one. So the original one, there's something about it that just smells like plastic to me and on my skin. So this one though, I'll give you the notes of this. The notes here are blueberry, wild strawberry and pink grapefruit in the top. Middle are passion flower, star jasmine and lavender. The base is French vanilla, musk and golden amber. So to me, I'm not sure that I would describe this as blueberry. I think this smells exactly like blue raspberry flavouring. So blue raspberry panda pops, or literally, not kidding, WKD. I don't know if they have that in anywhere other than the UK, but anyone who went to university in the 2000s, as I did, will be like, oh yeah, that's what I used to get smashed on in the student union. It's a blue liquid Alco Pop, and it is a blue raspberry flavour, and this smells like a non-alcoholic version of that. This is, and I knew my partner would like it. He said I smelt nice when he smelt this one, because he loves blue raspberry. If we go out and he sees a blue drink, he's going to want to try it. If he sees a Gatorade that's blue, he's going to want to try it. I imagine that's blue raspberry. So in the US, I imagine if I said this smells like a blue Gatorade, that's probably what it smells like. It has a sharpness that isn't really detectable so much in the original Sugarful. I did make some notes, I think, so I'm just gonna have a quick look. Let's have a look. Okay, yeah, blue raspberry sweeties. Oh yes, I said it's a little bit like the massive jelly dolphins you used to get at the cinema pick and mix, or in like Woolworths, if anyone in the UK remembers those. Yeah, I said it's a general synthetic blueberry drink or candy, WKD, very sherbety. It is very sherbety, this one, and I like it in that it's kind of fun, but it is also it smells cheap. Now these perfumes aren't cheap. They retail for like $65. I mean, and for like in terms of other perfumes, obviously that's not massively expensive, but for what this is, I think it's way too expensive. And I'll tell you something else. It's got a really wide top and a very short sprayer. So if you spray it, it just goes all over the top. It's very annoying. Now I wore this one to work, and I really enjoyed it for the first half of the day. And then, like Mojito Love, it really started to get on my nerves. It was kind of like, I'm bored of this now and I want to wear something else. So this is another one. This is probably like an evening out or an evening in, like a short-term wear for me, which, I mean, let's be real, I don't need this massive bottle. I am definitely considering, I'm just gonna sell the original Sugarful, because like I said, that's like strawberry laces and plastic on me. I'm not so keen on that one. I'm just seeing if I said anything else about that in my notes. I was like, a strawberry flavour candy vibe, not creamy, more like strawberry laces, a bit plasticky. Oh yes, and the very, very, very deep dry down of Sugarfull and Sugarfull Dream are both really similar. Like, it's just that this one I much prefer in the top. But I realistically, I don't need this massive bottle, so the chances are I'm going to take a decant from this and then sell it on. Yeah, so unless you really like very sweet and tangy kind of blue raspberry type smells, and that seems like massively your vibe, I would not pay more than 30 quid for one of these, for this full size. I wouldn't pay more than £30 for this. It does last okay. The other one, Sugarful, lasts a bit longer than this, but this lasts really well. The other Sugarful is way stronger than this as well. Probably didn't help with how I feel about it, that it's so strong. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, it was interesting. And then on Friday, I wore a much cheaper perfume. This is 100ml for 20 quid. This is an eau de parfum by Ulric de Varens called cotton musk. So let's pull these around. So cotton musk is in this crazy pink bottle, very cheap looking bottle, super kind of like 80s looking bottle. This is an interesting perfume, this one. It's so fascinating, and also fascinating because the notes seem insane when you read the notes. So I'll get the notes up. Okay. You can pretty much ignore these notes, but I'm going to tell you what the notes say. So this says top notes of bitter orange, middle notes of honeysuckle, jasmine and freesia, base notes of vanilla, tonka bean and sandalwood. So, and also, this doesn't even list musk. It's definitely got musk in it. I can smell the musk, and it's also called cotton musk. So it's musk. This is wrong. I think this is actually what it says on the Ulric de Varens stuff as well. So I'm not saying that like it's wrong. I'm saying that Fragrantica's probably missing some stuff from this. But it's fascinating because it's called cotton musk. I wasn't surprised when I smelt it, and it smells clean, like clean fresh cotton, right? But it also smells like cotton candy. So I'm like, and it's very pink, so I'm thinking, is this actually a cotton candy musk? Is that what this is supposed to be? Now when I first spray it, I do get a bit of the honeysuckle and a bit of the bitter orange, but you wouldn't really necessarily recognize them for that. I think just because I know they're there, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess it smells a bit honeysuckly. When it dries, it starts off like a kind of clean, fresh, out of the tumble dryer cotton smell, you know. And then as it dries down on your skin, you probably won't smell this on the card, but when it dries down on your skin, there is a sweetness that comes through that smells like cotton candy. It doesn't smell like vanilla. It doesn't smell massively like tonka bean. It smells like cotton candy, like specifically cotton candy. So this is another one that is perfect for bed. It's just ideal for someone who wants to wear perfumes to bed. It's very, very yummy, but it's very light. It's very close to the skin. It's a super, super duper skin scent, this one. And I would say it's quite easy to wear. However, I would be a bit careful if you don't think you like kind of cotton candy style smells, because it does get quite sweet and you can smell it for hours. Other people might not be able to smell it unless you get close to them, but you can definitely smell it for hours. If you get it on your clothes, it will last all day. Very subtly, but it's quite sweet. So if you don't like kind of cotton candy level of sweetness, then avoid this. But if you do, I think it's really lovely. I think it's a really nice perfume. And yeah, I'm now kind of torn between, is it called cotton musk because it's cotton candy musk, or is it cotton musk because it's like a fresh laundry smell as well? It's quite a weird mixture of the both, but because it's in a bright pink bottle, there is a part of me that thinks, is this actually cotton candy musk? Because it's supposed to have a cotton candy accord. But anyway, so last but not least, I've worn this a couple of nights to bed. So this is the Nuaim chocolate musk. Now then, I got this recently. I haven't used this much. It's just that this came with an adaptable kind of lid, like with a rollerball. So I put the rollerball in, but then I couldn't do the lid up properly. So I was like, well, that's a bit pointless. So I took the rollerball out so I could put the lid back on. But be really careful with this, because once there's no kind of stopper in it, it will leak if you light it on its side. So it needs to stay upright. But I just put it in one of my little Amazon rollerballs so I could just keep it in there. And this, guys, this Nuaim chocolate musk, I'm obsessed. Oh, where it's touched my fingers, it's so good. It's so good. I wore so many scents that are like really good for bedtime. I don't know why. But anyway, it's just... And the reason being that I wore this the other night and I had my robe on, and then when I put my robe on last night, I could still smell it, and I was like, oh my god, it's so good. And randomly yesterday we decided to watch Blade 2. We've been rewatching all the Marvel superhero stuff, so we watched Blade 2, and I was like, I'm going to wear my robe, I'm going to lie on the bed, the sofa bed in the living room. We put it down so we could lie around and watch Blade too. But I put some more of this on because as soon as I got a whiff of it on my robe, I was like, oh my god, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. Now, I did actually go and find some notes for this. If this is not on Fragrantica, and I realised the last time I spoke to you guys, I did explain that I think it smells like a Rolo dessert, like a chocolate and caramel dessert. But I didn't really think to try and find the notes, but I did a proper search this time. So the notes in this: seductive cocoa, caramel, vanilla, chocolate praline, and then it's got vanilla powder, orange blossom, ylang ylang, and banana nuances. And that explains a lot to me because like I was saying, this one is really sweet, but it's not so sweet that it's like vanilla-y, you know? It's like a very gentle caramel, and I think those notes totally support that. And yeah, I can, now I know it's there, I'm like, I can get a real subtle banana-y smell. And look, if you don't like banana, this doesn't smell like banana in that respect. But there's something so kind of creamy puddingy about it that it makes sense that there's just a tiny hint of something banana-y in there, but not like a sharp banana, not like a really thick banana smell. It just makes it smell like a pudding. Oh, it's absolutely lush. So yeah, I don't like Choco Musk, but my goodness, I love Chocolate Musk from Al Nuaim. I think it's absolutely scrumptious. So yeah, that was my week. A random assortment of things. I think this is only a little bottle, so that's fine. This one, like I said, I'm probably going to take a decant of Sugarfull Dream because I don't need a massive bottle of this thing. And it's so expensive to get the smaller ones. And like I said, for some reason you can't buy these in the UK. Apparently it's Michel, Germain, Paris, but it's all from the US. And the shipping, it's just alone is like $29. So I was not going to do that. But yeah, I'll probably just put this up on eBay, but not anytime soon, but at some point. I'll put up the pink sugar. The pink sugar. I haven't got pink sugar. The Sugarful original as well. But yeah, so yeah, a really fun week of random assortment of things with quite a lot of very nice. This will be good to bed scents for some reason. I don't know. Weirdly cozy. Maybe it's because the temperature dropped a bit. So I was like, okay, let's test out some of these incredibly sweet ones and then head back to some old classics. So yeah. Oh my god, I've been talking for ages. Let's sign off immediately.